Alright guys, another Thrill Me Thursdays. This week it is top 5 horror movies based in real life horror. And this one is kind of a depressing one because this is based, a lot of these are based on true events that happen in real life, so it's unfortunate. But some of these are kind of misconstrued too, because a couple of these that I'll explain, that you'll be like, oh, is that real or not? Like, there's not enough proof, but there's some that were easily real. Like, there's a couple with Ed Gein in this that I'm going to mention in this top 5. So let's get started on my top 5. My number 5 would be The Exorcist, which this is the one I was saying that probably not be real, because William Peter Blatty read an article at a college before he wrote The Exorcist about a kid who actually did get exorcised and did a lot of the things that the movie and book perceived. So that's interesting if that's real, but I mean it's something that, I don't know, it says it's based on real life events, but something was very isolated, so people didn't really see this, but who knows if it's true. But number 5, The Exorcist. Number 4 would be Jaws, and this was interesting reading up on this, why this is based on a real life event. There was a literal shark attack in Jersey Shore in like 1916, where like 5 people were attacked and 4 of them were killed by a shark, like on the beach. And it's interesting that it's very similar to the movie, because the movie does that too, where like a couple people die, the shark keeps coming back. And I just thought that was funny that they said that that's a real life thing, that there was an actual shark that kept coming back. And they didn't know which shark it was, because after it was dead, they couldn't really figure out which kind of shark it was, but they thought it might be a tiger shark. But that, I thought, was really interesting, that's really accurate to the movie. So I really appreciated that. Number 3 would be The Conjuring, and The Conjuring is based on stories by Ed and Lorraine Warren, 2 paranormal investigators, and it's interesting because this is one of those things where it's like based on true events. Do you believe it? Do you not believe it? Kind of thing, where the Warrens went through so many things in real life that were paranormal, and this one is just one of those stories. And I thought that this was just a very well executed movie, and I thought that really just it's a very interesting thing that I kind of do want to look up Ed and Lorraine Warren now. But it's very fascinating just how much this movie feels real, and I really appreciate that. Even though it's a 2013 movie with some CGI, but it still is effective, and it works very, very well on its behalf. Number 2 would be Psycho, which is, again, it's based on a real life event on which it is related to, like, Norman Bates is inspired by Ed Gein, who, of course, people know who Ed Gein is. And it's real. There's really not much else to say. It's like it's based on that, but also I really just love this movie, and I love that even though it's had horrifying events in real life with this Ed Gein, this Norman Bates was inspired by him for Robert Bloch's book Psycho, but I think that despite horrible things happening in real life, I think it's really cool with the book and the movie is one of the best horror movies ever. So I really think that it's interesting that this was based on a horrific thing, but I really love that we got a good movie out of it, even though I don't condone the real life thing happening. But still, really, really loved the original Psycho. Number 1 would be the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which again, based on Ed Gein. And in this one, just in particular, like, I'm not really going to go towards the real life events. I'm going to say more to the fact that this movie just feels so real, like somebody recorded people getting killed, because this is one of the most scariest movies ever made, and I had to put this at number 1 because of how disturbing and how creepy it is, and how so real it feels like, how it feels like a literal snuff film. So had to put this on here. Had to put it on there because it's based on real life events real life similarities with Ed Gein, and it feels so real. So I had to put this at number 1. It's just one of my favorite horror movies ever. It's just one of the creepiest. It's creepy that it's related to events that happened, and really, really love Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And that is my top 5 horror movies based in real life. And that is my Thrill Me Thursdays for this week. And thank you guys so much for watching.